We just spent 3 insane nights in Edinburgh.
Well, let's recap it. Welcome to Hits Different. I'm Molly.
I'm Ryan.
We just got back from night 3.
My voice sounds a little rough because I've been screaming for 9 hours total over 3 days.
Yeah.
Actually, more than that, 3.5 hours. I'm bad at math. We all know this.
It was amazing.
We're still in our outfits. We literally walked in the door and we're like, all right, let's do this
Gotta
thing.
sit down and
let's do it.
And yeah, give the people what they deserve, which is just like the play-by-play of the most incredible weekend possible. I think we're both still in shock.
Yeah, Scotland really hits different. We've never been to Scotland, and I just feel like overall the whole experience was just really special.
Let's just start from the beginning. Yeah, we were able to go all 3 nights. We were so lucky to be able to do that. The first night was general admission, standing in the back. We just weren't sure how it would be. Like, I've never been like GA for a show like this, as big as this. And the stadium was a well-oiled machine. Just like from the entry to queuing to getting into the stadium and being able to like get water and go to the bathroom and all of that stuff. I was really stressed about that beforehand, and it was so much easier than I thought it would be.
The friendliest employees I have ever met. My bracelet was like super tight when they originally put it on, like the
your
wristband.
Wristband, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I really feel like I want to get a new bracelet. And then I asked an employee, and they went on this hunt to like find the person to talk to. And then I ended up walking with a supervisor who walked me all the way back to the front to be like,
I didn't even know that.
This is the person. Like, it was like one person to one person, like whatever. And it was like, all right, this is the person who can help you. Your bracelet's too tight. Like, here, we'll fix it. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
yeah.
America would never. They'd be like, you're fine. It looks great. Like, I don't know how to help you. We're busy. And no, they escorted me all the way back outside of the stadium, like from the floor all the way back outside.
Wow. Yeah. And just like in general, they were just so well prepared. When we were waiting in line on both Friday and Sunday, because we were able to be on the floor both of those days, they were handing out water in line. And then like once we got in and you couldn't have bottles on the floor, they were handing out cups of water.
Non-stop flowing water.
Yeah, just like trying to make sure people were staying hydrated. I drink so much water.
Yeah.
And so like only being the fact that you can even bring in your own water bottle.
Yeah, I know.
Nuts. That's just not a thing in the United States, in case any of our listeners don't know that.
3 bottles of water.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, here you go.
Yeah.
Like,
in the US, it's like, give us $6.
I know.
And you can have this water.
$6. More like 20. Yeah. Say I love you.
Yeah, the employees in line today too were like trading bracelets with us.
Some rep babies.
Yeah,
rep
someone
stands.
was like, I need a look what you made me do.
Some guy literally was like, if anyone has a look what you made me do bracelet, I will give you this, like, it looked like a diamond, like, bear necklace pendant. And he was like, I will give this to you. And then all of a sudden someone was like, here you go. And he literally gave it to him. It was incredible. And so then we all were like, I have a don't blame me. I have a this or that. And it was like, he was so stoked.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I gave him a blank space and he was like, oh my gosh, like, got you.
Anyway, so 10 out of 10, Murrayfield, go off. Like, Taylor's...
And just like all the like fans that we met in line too were just so like friendly and like the trading. Oh my gosh, we traded someone for a slice of Domino's pizza today.
Yeah, it was her first ever Taylor concert, so she didn't have bracelets, and she's like, I'm acquiring instead of like trading. She's like, but I will trade you this pizza.
We literally saw her walking by like with the box of Domino's, and we were both like,
and she stopped and was like,
watching
do you
her,
want
and she's
some?
like, do you want a slice? We're like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'll just like, could I have a bracelet? We're like, yes.
Yeah. And so Scotland also was really unique because Taylor has never performed in Edinburgh, and she hasn't been to Scotland in almost 10 years. And it was in Glasgow. So she mentioned that during the show. And she also broke the record for most attended concert in all of Scottish history. And she kept leveling up. It was like, clearly they figured out a way to sell just a little bit more tickets each night just to like one up herself. So it was like, first night it was like, we broke the record, most attended. Next night, we broke the record again. Third night, we broke the record. And I was like, Wow.
Yes.
So Scotland just like, it was so special for everyone. And to see everyone there who a lot of them had never seen her before was just so freaking cool.
And like during the folklore speeches, she was talking about how like she could picture herself in Scotland, like with the folklore cabin, and that like the moss and all of that like reminds her of Scotland. She just like complimented the crowd a lot every single night, which I know she does that like in most places.
Yeah.
She has a really good way of like making you feel special, like in those types of speeches, and feel like you're the crowd that's like, oh, we're the best crowd. Like, this is amazing.
I've never been here. She kept saying that's one of my biggest regrets is like not coming to Scotland enough. And her and Paramore was all, so that's the other thing. Paramore was the opener.
Oh my gosh.
Let's not ignore Paramore. I've been listening to them since I learned since they started in 2003. They were incredible. Haley Williams' voice is like from another planet.
So good.
Oh, so good.
The way that she would like riff on the ends of some of the songs and stuff, it was just...
She played Burning Down the House, which was a fun little cover.
Oh my gosh. So that song is like my dad and my song. Like we always jam out to it. So getting to hear that was just so like sentimental for me amongst all the other Paramore songs that I just loved anyway. Yeah, Haley Williams was just so good.
The energy was...
Oh my gosh, on night 2 she came out with clown makeup on.
I was gonna say, I was like, she was also,
she was playing into it.
You know,
it sent us.
People have been clowning for Rev, as we all know. Every time Taylor performs now, it's like we're one step closer to, I don't even know. And so yeah, she was wearing clown makeup, and then she also at one point was like, "Are you ready?"
And a lot of people, including those of you in our comments, were thinking that we would get a rep announcement.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, it did not happen. It's okay.
We live to see another show.
Yeah, whoever gets it will be some lucky ducks. But we had like amazing shows without an announcement, so
it was
fine.
It was validating to talk to other Swifties though, who also were clowning and would say, like, we literally talked to a girl and she was like, "Oh, the numbers and the this and they said this and I saw like these Easter eggs." And I was like, "Oh my God, same."
Yeah.
And I heard a guy in front of us.
Are we all doing the same math?
I heard a guy in front of us today, literally before Taylor popped out for 19. I was like, "Oh, with the black dress," and I was like, we're all the same. Like every outfit, we're like, what's she wearing? And now every time the rep era starts, it's like, oh, it's the same bodysuit. All right. And Friday, she wore the black pinstripe jacket for the man, and then the black, like the fearless dress, like the black underneath.
Oh yeah, black.
And we're like black, and then nothing else. And I was like, is going on?
We'll see what happens because, you know, the next clown train has already moved on to Liverpool.
Yep, show 100.
Show 100.
And it's June 13th. Friday? No, Thursday. I think it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, it's the 13th and it's the 100th show, so that's a big deal.
Yeah, we... Make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our channel because we will be doing a recap after Liverpool. And if anything happens,
we got you.
You're going to want to circle back.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Should we talk costumes? Like, our costumes.
Oh, yeah, I was like, who? I was like, we saw, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
You start.
So one of my costumes was channeling TTPD. So I have this really fun witchy dress that's a little high-low and this like vintage little white tee and the necklace, an Amazon knockoff of the same necklace that Taylor wears during the TTPD. I was very proud. And then my other outfit was a little bejeweled, inspired two-piece with a Karma black jacket.
Yeah.
But, you know, in Scotland, because the weather is wilding out always, when I wore that night 1, I was very cold. So
I wonder if someone told you it'd be cold in Scotland.
So then I wore this yesterday and I was like, oh, I'm so warm. And then I wore today, I was like, I'm so hot. Like the weather was all over the place.
Yeah, we did get like very different weather every single day.
Yeah, people were not wrong. It's crazy out here.
Taylor made a comment today. It started to rain at one point on night 3.
She loves rain
and
so
she was
much.
like, I do so many costume changes, but I just saw all of you guys do a costume change because literally everyone had their rain jackets with them, like broke them out.
Except for us.
Funny.
Well, I guess we did.
We had our rain jackets with us, but we were just like, nah.
Yeah, when it rains,
we were like,
instead of Taylor, when it rains, we're like...
It started to calm down a little bit during rep, and then like during folklore, was when she mentioned the costume.
And she was literally laying on the cabin. She looked so happy.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm laying on a mossy cabin and it's raining in Scotland.
In Scotland, yeah.
On brand. And this one came out and it was beautiful.
So good.
Your outfit?
My outfits were very Tavis coded. If anyone has watched our recap videos or any of our other podcast content, you are not shocked. You know I'm a Tavis stan. So my husband and I dressed as Coachella, Taylor and Travis.
Absolutely crushed.
Yes, and Taylor Nation actually like responded to our photo together, which is just so fun. I can't believe like that so many people ended up getting to see the outfit because of that.
Dude,
I was very proud of us though.
We'll add the link. Run, don't walk to the link to see the photos.
Yeah, so I had obviously like this outfit. I have like a knockoff version of the skirt that Taylor was wearing. And then my husband had like the Happy Gilmore hat and a bandana and like the white tee with a button down and the flannel, or the linen pants. It was a vibe. And it's also a very comfy outfit for both of us. So winning there. And then my other outfit was Chiefs Taylor. So like a crew neck that she wore to a Chiefs game with a skirt. And I got little T earrings and a little 87 necklace to just fully embrace. We didn't get Travis at a show. Travis, we missed you.
Where you at, bro?
Yeah. Wanted to give you some friendship bracelets, but it's fine.
I know, we
dressed as you instead.
We literally were like, if we run into him, which one are we going to give him?
Yeah.
Because we didn't prepare for this. We're like,
I got one, I traded for one that says Tavis, so that's what I was going to give him.
Yeah,
because I had one that said the Alchemy, but someone took it, and I was like, oh no.
Tavis would have been so cute.
Yeah. Friday, night one, we were GA floor. So we ended up being like over to the right a little bit, like of the T. So right where Taylor comes, like pops out for But Daddy, I Love Him for Torture Poets, like we were probably like 15 to 20 rows back. And that was really cool. Like just seeing the show from that angle.
Yeah. You get a totally unique experience depending on where you are along, the bottom. And yeah, the T has many perks. One of them being surprise songs. Front row and center.
So, surprise songs. As they would say on New Heights, we've got to talk about it. I'm never going to be able to move on from this weekend. Like, we both kind of went into it with like certain things that we wanted, mainly like Tortured Poets songs that hadn't been played yet. I could have never ever dreamed of the surprise songs we ended up getting. Like none of them were what I expected and they blew me away. So on night one, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Quick story time. Woulda, coulda. We listened to Midnight's release together, 3 a.m. tracks dropped, and we were kind of delirious by that point because it was 3 a.m. And we were listening, and then we got to Woulda, Coulda, Should've, and we were like, and I just so distinctly remember hearing that song for the first time. Immediately became one of my all-time favorites. When Taylor sang it live for the first time on the ERAS tour, it was in Nashville, night 3. They'd already gotten the Speak Now announcement, and then there was a rain show, and then she brought Aaron Dessner out, and they sang Woulda, Coulda, Should've together. That show was like delayed because of the rain, so like normally I watch the live streams. I had to go to bed that night. It was a Sunday night, it was late. I woke up the next morning, 6:30, I roll over and I see Woulda, Coulda, Should've, and I did not handle it well.
As you often don't when it's like the top. You're like,
no, I can't believe it that she's already saying it. Because at the time she wasn't repeating anything. I
know.
So it's like my chances are gone.
It's over. It's over.
So when she gets up there and said, if I would have blinked, or whatever, I can't even, I'm like, what's the first line now? Whatever.
Come along with the right.
I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. And then she mashed it up with I Know Places.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing. Is you're like, okay, Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda is like, what, a 5+ minute song?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's no way she's mashing this up, which was fine. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoop.
Bae.
Which I love. I Know Places. Like,
top 1989
it's low on the, or far down on the track list for 1989. It's like kind of niche, it's like people I feel like, doesn't get enough love.
Yeah, it wasn't like a single. Yeah.
And it like,
and we run.
it's still a wild combo to me, even still thinking about it, like, what if I should have 9 places?
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't make sense, but it also like doesn't matter because it was so freaking good. And I'm sure
So
someone out there
good.
knows like why it can make sense of it, make it make sense. But it doesn't even need to make sense because it worked.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And the song ended up, like that whole mashup ended up going on for even longer than it would have because, one, Taylor had to ask for help during many parts of the show, but on that night, like during what it could have, should have, she was like, I'm gonna keep playing till somebody helps them. I'm gonna point to them with my guitar. We got recordings of the surprise songs on nights 1 and 2. So you have to go check that out because it's just like her focus when she had to stop and do that. I was thinking when she started again that maybe she would forget where she was or have to like sing something over again. Because again, she's done that before. She's like, oh, I messed up. I'll run this back. Yeah. But nope. Just picked it right back up. God rest my soul.
But I know the bridge kept getting delayed and I was like, she's gonna start it out. Nope, she just flawless. It was like, if anyone remembers the Bad Blood, where I feel like that was the first time when one of the fans was there was an issue with the security, the iconic, hey, stop.
She wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, and it was like wow, she's literally interjecting her own song, just keeping it moving. Yeah, she's pro.
And the hilarious part about it, not hilarious that anyone needed help, obviously, like good on Taylor for keeping eyes on all of that, but she was like, I can do this all day till they get help. And then literally like a minute later, she's like, I'm sorry, I just need to stop for a second because my hand is cramping.
Yeah, which that's happening. We're just like, it's like doing like a little claw thing. And I'm like, poor girl is like, it was cold on Friday night, which is crazy for, June, but it was cold. So I think her hand just got too cold from being out there or she was dehydrated. I mean, I feel that
either
too.
Or.
Whatever.
Yeah, she was like, can anyone relate? No, they can't.
And I yelled, I was like,
I can relate.
Yeah, I was like, girl, yes. Same, my feet, cramp legs, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hydrate.
So she like stopped, warmed up her hands, and then kept going. And then the next 2 nights, she wore gloves during Tortured Poets.
Which is a vibe.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, just pull these black gloves out of nowhere. Like, did she just go to the store on Saturday and was like, I need black gloves, like immediately?
Yeah, Taylor went to the store in Scotland.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. Anyway.
That we also clowned a little bit when we saw the black gloves. We were like, black gloves?
What does it mean?
What?
Why are they black?
And then we were like, oh wait, her hand literally cramped last night. Yeah. She's just keeping them warm.
Yeah.
So that mashup combo was everything I could have ever wanted.
But then she hops onto the piano and it starts with like,
I wanted to know who you were hanging with while I was gone. I would have asked you.
So we talk about like whenever you hear the surprise songs, it's like you find yourself singing the song and not like sometimes we don't realize like what the song is that we're singing. It's just like your brain is an autopilot and you're like, I'm singing it. I don't know what song it is because my brain is like trying to catch up. So it was like, that's what happens to the damn season. It's like, I'm singing the lyrics and I'm like, and then all of a sudden you get to the chorus and you're like, oh my God, it's just the damn season, which is one of my favorite songs off of Evermore. And Molly's about to fall off the chair. Like, she can't handle these surprise songs in post. Like,
one of my friends texted me after and was like, I feel like Taylor had to have handpicked these songs because they're like all my favorites. And I'm like,
what it could have shown them is one that Molly's wanted forever. 'Tis the Damn Season. I mean, it's both of our favorites, but like that's like one of my favorite from Evermore that I never thought I would get again. Like after she removed it from the set list.
I'm getting it in full because on the set list before it was shortened.
It's like, and there she is. And then
Daylight.
Which we never thought about.
During Just the Damn Season, I don't even think I really looked at you because I was just going through it. And then when Daylight started to play, I know that you love that song so much. And I turned to look at you and you're like tears in your eyes. And I was like, okay, we're both going through it.
Dude, yeah, when 'Tis the Damn Season, it's like, because, now with the mashups, it's like that was song number 3 by then. So it's like, what if it should have, I Know Places. And then 'Tis the Damn Season, I was like, I can't handle this. I'm gonna pass away. And like, So I literally just started crying and I was like, I don't even know what's happening. And then daylight, I was like, we didn't even think about daylight happening. And it makes so much sense because this was the first time that she had a show that was like mostly in daylight for the ERAS tour because it gets dark very late in Scotland, well past like 11 p.m. So most of the shows
very strange if you're not used to it.
Yeah, and so she could see so much. And, you know, it was just a few weeks ago when they turned the lights on during Champagne Problems, like for one of the first times for her to see people, you know, and their, like the reactions in the encore or whatever. And yeah, no, everything was just wide open. She could see everything. But that also added to like her scanning the crowd and making sure everyone was doing well. And so I think
she could see everything.
She was looking.
Yeah, and so we should have realized that she would sing Daylight. Knowing it was like her first shows in full daylight. It is kind of interesting to see like Rep and stuff like that like in the daylight. I know that this isn't like the first time that that's happened.
Yeah, it was the first time TTPD was in the daylight. Yeah. It was the 16th show, 15th or 16th, and today was the 17th show. And first one though in daylight. And so Zombie Tay did not work
on Friday
because it was the brightest was Friday, and we thought. I was clowning. I was like, what does it mean? There's no Zombie Tay, so like that's a rep sign. And it's like, no, it's just like it's too bright out and like the effect just didn't work on the screen.
Yeah, the next 2 nights it did work.
It did. So that was just literally an
it was a little darker
the
next 2, like because of just like being cloudier and whatever.
Yeah, it was weirdly way darker.
Yeah.
And so TTBD, it was our first time seeing it on Friday. And I mean, it's everything and more that everyone has said. Like so many people who have seen the show for the very first time or seen Taylor for the very first time are like, oh, TTD is my favorite like part of the whole show. And I'm like, wow, that says a lot. And then you see it and you're like, wow, yeah. I mean, it's just next level.
On night 1, we were in prime position to see her rise up for But Daddy I Love Him. So the beginning of Tortured Poets did not disappoint.
Dude.
I mean, just seeing her do the little run.
Yeah. Who's Afraid of Little Me, Tay Roomba. Who's Afraid of Little Me, like, it was my favorite song when I first ever heard TTPD, and it's now, like, it's, like, in my top 5, like, of all Taylor songs. And seeing it live, I just couldn't believe I was actually seeing it live.
Somehow, despite all the live streams that I watched, when she finished But Daddy I Love Him So High School, in my brain, I thought it was about to go into Down Bad. I don't know why. And so then it was Who's Afraid of Little Me, Who's Who, and I was like, oh.
I know, you like forget and you're like, wow, we're here we go, okay. Yeah, she's levitating and she sounds incredible, and that's partially why my voice, because literally every time she played that song, all 3 nights, I screamed it as loud as she did, and had no regrets. It was like Female Rage, the musical, full out.
Yeah.
Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Yeah, I expected Who's Afraid of Little Me to be my favorite part of Tortured Poets, and I'm not saying that it wasn't because it was insane. But Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is like a super, super close second.
It's a performance for sure.
It was so good.
And I didn't notice that, like, we knew that the lights flashed red when she's getting hit, shot. I didn't realize that it was like literally all of the lights in the stadium. So it's like red.
Yeah.
And also when the song starts, the screen flashes red for a second too. And the drummer's like,
oh my
gosh. It's a full on performance.
Yeah. One of our friends, it was her first ever Taylor concert. She went with us on Friday night, and the drum line she was obsessed with. She was like, what?
Like the drums, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dancers are out there with the drums. It's like, okay,
multi-talented.
Yeah, multi-talented.
Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so TTPD, absolutely insane. And
just, everything about it. Like,
I know.
Down Bad, the spaceship, even in the daylight, it still was really cool.
Yeah. I know I cried, or almost cried, when we lost Tolerate It, R.I.P. If this is, the sacrifice, if that was sacrifice for this, then
Yeah.
Okay, I get it, okay.
How did you feel about your new Tolerate It fortnight?
It's unfair because, we can't have one with, we can't have Tolerate It without losing all of TTPD.
Yeah.
And so, Fortnite was just absolute, it's so incredible to watch, like, the bed and, the acrobatic
dancing
ab strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible. And then
he's so good.
when they both walk up the little stairs and they stand apart from each other and like the whole thing, it's just it's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And like hearing Posty's little track in the background, his little homage.
Like Fortnite will always be such a special song for me now because that is how Taylor saw our faces, was doing the Fortnite challenge on YouTube.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so every time I hear it, I'm just like...
And just as a little side note related to Fortnite and the Fortnite challenge, Taylor Nation recently brought back the Fortnite challenge just a few days ago, trying to get people to do it again. And everyone's like, why are they bringing this back? And then someone noticed that there was one shot changed out from like Taylor's Fortnite challenge video that we'd seen before. And it was the shot of her cat, Benjamin. Same thing with him laying on his back, but a different carpet, clearly different shot. And no one knows what it means. So if anyone knows, please help us clown, because I don't know.
This? The other thing we have to mention about the Tortured Poets set, last but not least, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is such a fun vibe in the stadium. Like the whole Tortured Poets set was amazing, but like finishing on that, like the energy goes from like kind of like intense and just like during a lot of it.
Yeah, like I
to like, I'm so like it's my birthday, and everyone's just like losing it.
She shows
and like
up.
like clear. I think that's the most popular song out of the whole set list. Even
You
though
think
like,
so?
well, people screamed "Who's Afraid of Little Old Me" like pretty loud, but I feel like it was the loudest with "I Can Do It With a Broken Heart."
Yeah, it's your classic little pop vibe, which, you know, everyone loves.
Yeah.
It really just highlights how much of a professional she is. Like, I love when, you know, they're trying to assemble her, bring her back from the dead in the very beginning of the song. And when she does the, like, I don't want to do it, and then just, like, turns around, she's like, and then just goes. She's such a professional.
On that note, she seemed to be, like, having some sort of cold
Oh, yeah,
this
she
weekend.
definitely has a cold.
And so, again, just, like, how professional she is. It's like, you wouldn't have noticed if it weren't for the fact that she literally had a runny nose.
Yeah. Yeah, like night one, she like a few times we went like this, and I was like, I think she's sick. And Molly was like, she's wiping her hair away, and I was like, nah, homegirl's
Well, it was
sick.
really windy too. At the time that I noticed it at first, it seemed like she was, but yeah.
It's crazy because she usually addresses it. Like I think about in the past during the Rep Stadium tour when she like literally has like one of her dancers or someone like just hands her a tissue, and
Yeah,
she
it's right before
literally
she plays All Too Well.
Oh, okay, yeah. And it's like I don't know.
Don't mind me, I'm just gonna blow my
And she's like, don't listen. And then when she was playing Champagne Problems today, you heard her like make little like, she like sniffed or did something. And I was like, girl, you struggling. I don't know how she does it. And she sounds absolutely insane with or without a cold. And I'm like, meanwhile, I get a cold and I'm like, I don't want to go do my desk job for 8 hours. Like, I don't understand how she's a machine.
Oh, so good. All right, night two. Night two was like a slightly different experience because we were a lower bowl. We were like the very last row of the lower bowl. It was cool after like being on the floor to kind of get like that.
Could see everything.
You could see everything, whereas on the floor you couldn't see like certain angles of things.
Yeah.
Or like if the further away she was from us, you might not like see her. And so yeah, it was nice to like have a seat, not be as worried about being able to like get back to a seat or like how much water you should or should not drink.
Yep. Do I need to hydrate myself? Not as much as normal.
Yeah. We were kind of aligned with the end of the stage, so we had a really good view of everything. The whole show, incredible, get to surprise songs, and it's so funny because again, one of our friends who's like a new Swiftie.
Baby Swiftie. Never been to a show. When we were talking about what surprise songs we might get this weekend, and we were talking about The Bolter being a song she hadn't played on Tortured Poets yet. Yeah, we went to the show with this friend for her first show ever on Friday, and she planted this, like casually brought up this idea of like, oh yeah, The Bolter, because we've been clowning for it. We wanted it. It was a song she hadn't played on TTBD. She's like, oh, like what if she plays like The Bolter in Getaway Car?
And I remember you and I were both like,
we're like,
no.
We're like,
maybe.
Because I always thought of the lyrics when The Bolter came out. It's like
She
in a town car
must
speeding. But
yeah,
we never really thought about it. And then here's this new baby Swiftie just out here like prophesizing, like
yeah. She needs to play Swiftball. Damn.
Saturday comes around. I haven't played this song before. Starts into the Bolter, and we're like, oh my god, yay, we love the Bolter.
Yeah.
And then I knew, partially because of what this friend had said, and then partially because we know Taylor, and she gives herself away. She had this cute little smirk. She was playing, and I was like, oh, what is she gonna mash this up with? Is it gonna be a getaway car?
And she just like went into it too. She was like, we were jet set, Bonnie and Clyde. And I screamed so loud.
Dude, the transition between Bolter and getaway car, all the lights flash green, the whole freaking stadium erupted. We also have a video of that as well.
Yes.
Which we will also link because it is insane.
It's just like we were talking about, 'Tis the Damn Season, Getaway Car.
Dude.
Never thought I'd be lucky enough to hear it again.
Getaway
honestly.
car is small,
And
like the woulda, coulda, shoulda situation, but even more. Because
Yeah.
like we're rep girlies and
yeah, it's like I heard it on the rep tour, but that wasn't enough.
that was a long time
It was
ago.
a long time ago.
Really long time ago.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know, it's so hard to pick my favorite song off Reputation. There's probably Getaway Car, but then like, as soon as I say that, I think of a bunch of others. But anyway, it was so good. I cannot believe that we got it.
And then my friend was like, oh, what were the surprise songs? We're like, dude, like, go play the lottery, man. Like,
Right.
what is going on?
You predicted it. The whole stadium just lost it. And then on piano, all of the girls you loved before.
So yeah, it started and I was just like, I love that song so much and never thought I would hear it. Like, don't even really think about it.
It came out
in
on
that
her
way.
birthday weekend, like last year.
It's so good.
Last year. It's only like just over a year old. Damn.
Wow, yeah. And it was the same thing as Tis the Damn Season. It's like I would start singing it when she starts playing it. I'm like, my brain hasn't caught up to what the heck this is. Or no, that was you.
Yeah, no, that one took me like one of the longest. I'm like, I started singing it. You remember all the late nights, blah, blah, blah.
And I was just like over there freaking out. Molly's like, I'm like, catch up, Molly, catch up. It's all the girls you loved before. And she was like, oh yeah.
It is so weird when it's like you know the lyrics, but like my brain was in overdrive from Getaway Car. Like I've barely recovered, and I'm like, I know this song. What song is it? I know it. And then we get to the chorus, and yeah, I was like, oh. And her vocal, like that song has such good vocals. Yeah. Every dead end street. I won't sing it. You guys don't need to hear me sing it. That video also linked in the description, and we're burying the lead because while we love all of the girls you loved before, she mashed it up with a song she had never ever performed live.
Which a lot of people are dead and deceased over.
Yes.
It is their getaway car and what it could have, should have.
Yes, crazier.
Deep cut.
Deep cut from the Hannah Montana movie.
And she literally was like, I don't know if you guys know this song. I've never played this before. And everyone's like, oh.
And she's like, anyone who knows this, like it's really, really old.
Yeah.
The way that she like wove the lyrics together was so good. I was like, Travis, where are you?
I know, a lot of people were like,
you make me crazier. Like,
yeah.
Come to the show.
We really thought he was gonna come today because
we thought it was his calling.
She gets all sweet and lovey-dovey the day before,
Yeah.
and then I guess she was just playing for him from afar.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, that was a deep cut. For all of y'all who were stoked about it, tell us about it. Some people were like, that's when I first started listening to Taylor. Like, I never thought she would play that. It's not even on an album. It's like a whole thing. Everyone won in some way this weekend. Like,
Oh my
there was
gosh.
something for literally everyone.
Yeah.
And then, night three.
Night 3.
Surprise songs, starts out on the guitar, and once again, I've never played this before, so this whole weekend felt like a very, like, I've never played this before, like, let me just, like, play some stuff and see how you all react. And so she started with, It's Nice to Have a Friend, which is off Lover, and a little niche. She'd never played that live before. When you think of Lover, I feel like you forget about that song. And then she mashed it up with Dorothea off of Evermore.
The thing I love about It's Nice to Have a Friend is that I always feel like she puts a song on an album that kind of ends up indicating the direction she's going to go on the next album. And I've always felt like It's Nice to Have a Friend kind of gave folklore vibes. And that was the next album. So the fact that she mashed It's Nice to Have a Friend up with Dorothea, which is Evermore, but still like same vibes, I was like, oh, like, and then, people think Dorothea could be about Selena Gomez. And so it's interesting that she did It's Nice to Have a Friend with that.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. I just feel like it was a good, like, sentimental little pairing.
Yeah.
But the cherry on top of the weekend was the piano songs. I mean, we were talking to people in line and we were talking about how whenever Taylor's in a country, she tries to play mashups from as many albums as possible, or like with songs to cover all of the eras. And I was so proud of you. I know that like Haunted is not a top song for you, but you noticed and you knew what it was faster than I did.
Before she even started singing, she did
Yeah.
a little piano riff and I was like, it's Haunted. And I was like, and even I was like, how did I know that?
It takes me so long. I don't know why.
I know. Well, most of the time when you just hear like the instrumental part, it's rare that I know what it is. Because I'm like,
You were on it like all weekend.
I know.
Yeah. I think that because I'm a lyric person, it's really hard for me to pick it up off of the instrumental.
Yeah.
But like the Getaway Car is the one I got the fastest because
Of
it was
course.
like, we were Jet Set Bonnie and Clyde and I was like,
Yeah. You're like, ah. And what it could have, should have. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, she starts to play Haunted and I was just like, oh my gosh, we were literally talking to someone in line earlier who was like, I really hope she plays Haunted. And so as soon as she started playing that, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope this person is just,
Yeah. We see you.
I hope that they had an amazing time.
And the revival of Haunted, it's going on. And like, that's the other thing is like now these mashups is you don't never know how far she's going to take the song and like, or if she's going to take it all the way. Because again, she has done songs in full. She keeps playing around with that too. And so it's like, what could have, should have thought it was going to be in full, not.
So it was running through my mind as soon as she started to play Haunted. Right before she played it, she gave this little speech that was like, this is like my favorite part of the show because we always do something different, which means like you get a unique experience. This will have never been played before except for tonight. And so when she started to play Haunted, I was back in my head immediately, I'm like, she's mashed up Haunted and Exile. It was a couple months ago, like earlier in the year.
Which I did not know.
And I was like, oh my gosh, are we gonna get Exile? Because don't get me wrong, I love Haunted, but Exile is one of my all-time favorite Taylor songs, both of us.
Same.
And it's my husband's favorite Taylor song. And we duet it together often. Semi-often. whenever he lets me.
Like twice.
Often. Like every weekend. His face is like, no, we don't. My face, I was like,
You should see their faces.
Okay,
no, we don't.
Whenever he will let me, we duet Exile together. So anyway, I'm like, get this out of your brain immediately. Like, there's no way. If she just gave this little speech about this being unique.
I mean, well, I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
Like, because
I didn't even want to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
I almost looked at both of you and said,
I was listening to Haunted Vibe and I'm like,
yeah.
what's coming next?
no, I almost looked at both of you and said, oh my gosh, what if she matches it up with Exile? Because she's done it before. But I was like, nope, don't even get excited. Like, just Haunted is amazing.
Right.
I'm good.
That's how I felt about what it could should have. I was like, this is fine. We don't need anything else. Oh,
Yeah.
and I blinked. Okay, this is good.
Yeah. Then she goes into Exile and we have live video reaction for both of us because I realized what it was faster than you did.
We also have live footage from Friday night thanks to our friend, the prophecy, the prophet who predicted Volter Getaway Car was smart and sneaky and literally recorded us just going through it.
We're gonna have a full vlog coming of our night 3 experience from like we got in line hours before because we had early entry. We ended up being we buried the lead on this. We ended up being second row. Like in between the diamond and the T, and it was insane. So when you watch our vlog, which will be coming out after this video that you're watching now, you will see some of our incredible views. But anyways,
It was a day.
back to Exile. We got to do the echo part with Taylor.
Oh my god, I know, and she looked so happy. I don't know if she like. Oh, I mean, I guess I didn't see the first time she performed it.
Oh yeah,
and
she
they
was
did the same.
stoked. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I know. It was
Yeah,
so
because she
cute.
sang Exile a couple of times now. I think the first time that she sang it, I think was in LA last summer, and that was in full, and they did the echo part. But then she's done the mashup of Haunted and Exile earlier this year. I mean, Scotland.
Dude, go off, Scotland. Like, gosh.
How could you ever wish for anything more?
I don't even know. She popped off this weekend.
Liverpool, watch out.
Show 100, 13th. Man, we'll all be watching.
Yes.
As we always are.
Oh, our last shout out as we wrap this video up is just like how incredible seeing the costumes and the dancers and all of that up close was. Like we got to have some really fun interactions. You'll see more of that when our vlog comes out. As someone who like has watched the show on a grainy live stream so many times, there's just something that can't be replicated about like seeing it with your own eyes right in front of your face. It was just so special.
Yeah.
I think that's everything. If you guys have questions, if you want to know more,
if you were there,
if you were there, absolutely let us know your thoughts.
Yeah,
but like if you're going to the show and you want to know some like strategy for the floor, or if you just like have questions, maybe you were watching the live streams. Oh, I should mention we wanted to go live. We tried really, really hard to go live.
Service was not it.
The service in the stadium, we literally couldn't even like use our phones for the most part. We got a little bit of a signal on Saturday on night 2 and tried to go live on Instagram, but it like would not stay. So we apologize because I know we had promised that. That's why we have the vlog coming to make up for it. We had such an incredible time in Scotland. We are a little delirious and tired now, so we're gonna sign off.
Tell.
Yeah. We're gonna go to bed. We have to get up in like a couple of hours to head back to the States. We will have a recap after Liverpool. So if you liked this video, give it a like and hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for all of our content coming up. And thanks for watching, and thank you, Taylor, for an amazing, 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 amazing run of shows in Scotland that we will never get over.
I'll never forget it.
Thanks for watching. Bye.